Good morning. So if you watched part one of this video, you would have seen me starting to open this area up and tidy it up. So I started by clearing some of the hollies that were overhanging the river here, so you've got a nice view along the river. And I ended the video saying I wanted to take these trees down. Now at the time I said I didn't want to do it the other day because it was too windy. It is still windy, as you can probably hear, but I've decided they're leaning at such an angle that they're very unlikely to go off course. To be honest, once you start cutting those, there's only one way they're going to head. So these three on this side and that one in the middle there are already really easy. Cut them at the base, they're going to fall here. That one there is a little bit more of an issue because it is hanging on this tree, and there is a slight branch sticking out up there, which might get caught on. I'm hoping that I cut that at the base and the weight of it will just snap that rotten bit off and it'll just fall down to the ground. If not, I'll just have to give it a pull, keep cutting it and see what I can do to it. But either way, they're all coming down here. They're not going to go anywhere I don't expect them. So just to make the job safer, rather than standing in the river, I decided I will use a ladder as a bridge. And it really actually shows how wide this river is once you've got the ladder there. So yeah, let's get you on the stand, get the chainsaw started and see what we can do to these. So other than that splashing me as it hit the river, that went reasonably well. Right, let's tidy this up and out of the way and then I can get on with the next one. So I don't know about you, but I think it's going quite well so far. So I have lost a couple of bits downstream, but it gets shallower on that corner, so they're just getting stuck down there, so I can go and get them later. But yeah, so let's trim this bit up out of the way, and then that just leaves me with that one to deal with. So right, let's get you back on the stand. Right, so you would have noticed I'm stacking this up over here rather than taking it up to the bonfire pile. That is because this is the end of the nature trail. You're not supposed to go any further. But people keep climbing up here and heading through. There's actually a public footpath that runs down there to a bridge over there and runs up and across the land over there. And people keep climbing up that steep bank, pushing their way through here and then complaining they got lost. Which quite frankly it's your own fault. It's clearly marked as a public footpath over there. This is clearly not a footpath over here, but I can see there's starting to become another trail through there. I don't know if that trail is people or if it's actually wildlife. We do get foxes and badgers and things like that around the area, so it might be a run that they're using. So by putting the branches in, they'll just push their way through anyway, and they'll carry on regardless. But if it's people that are pushing their way through, then hopefully this will act as a barrier to stop them from coming through. I am planning on cutting some of this laurel back as well and adding that along there. And that's for two reasons. One, because I want it a little bit thicker. And two, because you'll notice this section here is quite green. It's got the fern, it's got the ivy growing. This section over here, where it's underneath the laurel, is dead. There's nothing. There's a few bulbs struggling to come up this spring. But the further that goes, the more it kills. So I just want to take some of that out, allow some of the light in, allow some of the rain to get to the soil as well, because laurel causes the soil to become acidic, I believe it is, and therefore it's harder for plants to grow. You get the rain on the soil, that will wash it and become more of a neutral again. But yeah, so I'm thinking, do I cut those laurels now, or do I cut this last sycamore? And I'm thinking the sycamore wins first, just because that's less dangerous. So I want to get the dangerous stuff out of the way first. Right, let's get you back on the stand. Okay, so I'll put you over here. Hopefully you'll get a good view of the whole thing. So it should fall this side of that tree, but like I said earlier, there is a little stick sticking out the side there, an old branch that's rotted off, that it might get caught up on. I'm hoping it won't, so let's see how it does. There we go, that went well. So that last little bit is actually, the entire tree was being held up by that branch there. So just by me pushing on the side of it, it was enough to snap it. And again, I was that side of this tree, so I knew it couldn't come towards me, it had to go this way. So yeah, right, let's get this cut up. Okay, so I've moved the big bits over that I can. I'm going to need a rope or something to pull those bits out of the water. The chainsaw's running out of fuel now as well, so I need to refuel that and sharpen the chain. So I'm going to go and have some lunch, because I haven't had any lunch yet either. And then I'll come back and finish this afternoon. Right, see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back from lunch. Chainsaw's all fueled up. So what I was going to do, just quickly, is start by trimming some of these branches off and just put them in to sort of continue this barrier up along here. Now one of the reasons I want to carry on along here is because of this lot. So there's all old guttering and pipes and like this wire mesh here that was dumped here ages ago, to the point I can't actually move this properly. Because stuff's growing through it now. So that does need getting rid of. So that'll just stop if people do climb up here, make it a little bit more difficult for them to get in this. And also, like I say, it'll allow light onto the bank here, allow it to dry out down there, allow stuff to grow here, make it look a bit nicer. So let's get you on the stand. I don't know how much the camera actually shows this up. I'm going to show you from this angle just what sort of slope I'm working on here. So you've got this steep slope. When you come to here, there's even a drop off there. So all this stuff I'm moving down there to up here, it's a lot of effort. But yeah, I'm trying to continue it on because just through here there's a fence just there, so I'm hoping to meet this up with that fence because again there's a run mark coming down here where things have come down. So yeah, we'll get it done in a minute. So this area here is a little bit of a mess actually. Where the laurel branches have come down and touched the ground, they've sprouted and started growing again. And at some stage they do appear to have been cut. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can tidy it up and stop it from being such a trip hazard. So there we go, I'm all finished for today. I think just in time because the weather is getting horrendous, so large storm clouds on the horizon. Yeah, so I've managed to clear the big branches over to the side here. I'd like to build something with those, but they are sycamore, so I don't know how strong they are. But they're still of a decent size, they'll come in useful, if nothing else, as firewood. So yeah, managed to clear all the way along the river there so you can actually see the water. Get those dangerous trees down because they're more than likely going to carry on falling. The green leaves there are actually wild garlic, so I believe they'll flower soon and then die down again. So if you come in the summer they probably won't be here, but next year they'll look a lot better because they'll actually have some lighting on top of them. Same as all this area up here. That now it's getting some light to it, getting some rain to it. That should come alive. I've actually got some ferns that I might plant on there. I've got a nice boundary set up with all the dead material there as well. So hopefully, because we get a lot of kids come down here playing, hopefully they won't push through there now. But yeah, I've left this section here. I don't know if I'm going to get to do that or not. To be honest, I haven't got permission from the owner to do this, and the owner's away this week. So by leaving this, he might not actually notice I've done anything down here. But yeah, he doesn't like me working down here for the simple reason he goes, well, if you do something, people expect the nature trail to be continued and they expect work to be going on, which is true, but equally if you leave it too overgrown, you then can't see what you've got. So you can now walk into this space, got a lovely big open area. I can now ignore this for another few years. So yeah, right, I don't know how much of this you can actually hear because that weather is getting horrendous. So I'm going to end the video here and I'll see you next time.